Why did they leave a witness right there who was facing them when they pulled the trigger?
I was so asleep, like I sleep down.
Well, I'm not saying from your standpoint, from their standpoint.
I don't know.
Why are they going to leave you there?
Our story begins in Douglas County, Nevada. In the early morning of February 21st, 2008, Douglas County 911 receives an alarming call.
Douglas County 911, address of your emergency.
Wells, where's Lee?
And what's going on there?
I think I just heard a loud noise. I don't know if someone broke into our house and shot my husband. I was sleeping. I heard a gun noise go off, and I tried waking him up, and then I thought he got sick, so...
You heard a gun noise and what?
Yes, I heard a gun noise. I don't know if the person's still in here. I looked out my front door, and it's open, but I'm afraid to go out there.
Okay, just stay where you're at. Are you in a room that you can lock?
Yeah.
Okay, so this gun noise is like a gunshot?
Yeah. I turned on the light to wake up my husband, and it's really, really bad.
What's really bad?
My husband.
Did he shoot himself?
No.
Where's your husband at?
No, lay down, lay down. I'm so sorry.
Where's your husband at?
He's in our room. He was laying next to me.
Okay, is he awake?
No, he's dead.
He's dead.
Mm-hmm.
So you think somebody came in and shot him?
Yeah.
Okay, while I'm talking to you, my partner is dispatching units out, okay?
I know, lay down, Liz.
Who are you talking to right now?
My daughter. And I can't get in to go see my brothers here.
Did you see anybody?
No. Not at all.
Do you know where the gun is? Is the gun laying by your husband?
Right next to him. I haven't even looked.
Okay, where are you in the house right now?
I'm in my daughter's bedroom.
Were you laying next to your husband when this happened?
Yeah, I was. I was sleeping. And I heard this loud noise. And like something hit me in the head, and I was like, oh, that's weird. So I get up, and I'm like, I smell gunpowder, and I get up, and I'm like, babe, did you hear that? And then I thought he had gotten sick. I was like, babe, he got sick. And I turned on the light because I just see the puddle blood going next to me.
Okay, and you said the front door is open?
Mm-hmm.
And was the front door open when you went to bed?
No.
Is the front door normally unlocked?
Yes.
Did you hear any vehicles take off or anything?
No. No.
Okay, so when you woke up, you didn't see anybody running? You didn't hear anybody running?
No. It took me a minute to like register, like think what the heck's going on.
Okay, how old is your husband?
36.
36?
Mm-hmm.
Do you have weapons in the house?
Yeah, my brother's room.
Okay, what kind of weapons are typically in the house?
Oh no, he has hunting guns, and I don't think they're normally in the house. I think they're normally in the garage.
Has your husband been depressed at all lately or anything like that?
No, not at all. We just got married not even a year ago.
You just got married? Okay. The police are already on their way, okay? I'm going to keep you on the phone. What is your name?
Melissa Oxley.
Melissa Oxley?
Mm-hmm.
And your daughter's okay, correct?
Yes.
She's fine?
I'm just trying to stay calm for her.
Okay, good. You're doing a really good job. How do you spell your last name, Melissa?
Oxley.
And your husband, what is his name?
Ben Oxley. Oxley. Just stay calm.
Okay, does he have anybody that's been making threats against him lately or anything like that?
No, not at all. Can I call my mom, please?
I'd prefer if I stay on the phone with you, just in case somebody comes back or anything like that.
I need a phone here.
Okay, they're coming fast. Hang on, okay?
Mm-hmm.
You're doing a good job. Stay with me. Okay, how old is your daughter?
6.
And she's okay? She doesn't know what's going on?
She's okay. She doesn't know.
Okay.
Is someone here? Are they here?
I don't think so. What do you hear?
Someone else. I think in my kitchen.
You hear somebody in your kitchen?
Mm-hmm. Tell them to hurry to leave.
Do you hear like footsteps or do you hear rattling around?
No, well, it's kind of like a pet.
Do you have a dog or animal?
No, we have 2 cats.
2 cats?
Please tell them to hurry.
Okay, they're going as fast as they can, actually. And it sounds like they're arriving on scene here any minute now.
Hurry.
Okay, you're doing good. You're doing good. Do you hear anything else?
No.
Where is the bedroom in relationship to the front door, the bedroom that you're in?
In the back.
And where is your the bedroom where your husband's in?
In the back. Are they here yet? Tell them to hurry.
Yeah, right now they're getting on scene, okay? Don't move until I tell you, okay? The front door is unlocked, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
I need it open.
Did you open the front door?
No.
No, she didn't.
That's why I called 911 and went back and checked on my husband because I went originally out to see what that noise was that I heard. And then I realized my door was open, so I went back to see my husband, and it's bad.
They're checking around the house right now, okay? But just stay in the bedroom with your daughter, okay?
Based on Melissa's statements of hearing someone in the kitchen, the officers believe the shooter is inside the residence. Sergeant John Stork of the Douglas County Sheriff's Office is one of the two responding officers. They announce themselves and enter through the open front door. They go into a bedroom on their right and notice someone in the bed under the covers. The deputies yell, "Sheriff's Office, show us your hands." However, there's no response. Eventually, the boy in the bed emerges from underneath the covers, and Sergeant Stork's partner detains him. The sergeant's attention shifts back towards the hallway. He sees a female accompanied by a child. The woman has a phone in her hand and identifies herself as Melissa Oxley. Her 6-year-old stepdaughter, Alyssa Oxley, is with her. The male subject in the first bedroom was 17-year-old Craig Nichols, brother of Melissa Oxley. Within 20 minutes of the initial call, officers secured the scene and everyone inside the residence. Detective Ron Elges arrives and surveys the scene. Inside the master bedroom is the body of Benjamin Oxley. Upon closer inspection of the body, they discover a large gunshot wound to the back of Ben's head. Blood spatter covers the walls, and there are shotgun pellets in and on the bedding materials. It appears to Detective Elges that while Ben was sleeping, someone shot him. Benjamin Oxley was born in Hawaii and raised in Hawaii and Arizona. In 1997, he met his first wife, Dawn, a single mother of 2 in Indiana. The two moved to Arizona, where Alyssa was born. After spending around 6 years together, in 2003, Ben and Dawn's marriage was over. The two were in the process of separating when Ben met Melissa. She worked at Western Nevada Supply, and Ben was a frequent customer. He repeatedly asked Melissa for a date, and she eventually said yes. When they went to dinner for the first time, Ben brought his daughter Alyssa with him. She was his priority, his everything. Ben and Melissa got married on September 17, 2006.
Promise to Ben to be to him in all things a true and loving wife. If so, please say I do. Alyssa, will you promise to share in the love of this family? If so, will you please say I will?
They had a special ceremony for Alyssa where Melissa accepted her as her daughter and gave her a bracelet. Most knew Ben as a joyful, fun-loving dad who was laid back and friends with everyone. He welcomed Melissa's brother Craig to stay with them during his time of need. Back at the scene, investigators collect GSR or gunshot residue test samples from Craig and Melissa. They photographed Melissa at the scene. She had blood and brain matter on her. Melissa, Craig, and Alyssa are brought to the station as crime scene technicians arrive. Upon initial inspection of the house by detectives, they notice shotgun shells on Craig's dresser and multiple shotguns inside the garage. The weapons and ammunition found in the home raised the detectives' suspicions. Did Ben have an argument with Craig, and did he retaliate by shooting Ben in the middle of the night? At the station, investigators separate all of the residents of the house. For transparency, this footage is from Melissa's second interview, as her first interview was only audio recorded. However, she tells the same story in both interviews.
Unfortunately, I keep asking you questions so we can continue to you understand, change, see what's what, and try to completely eliminate you and Craig, so we can keep working on those other persons. I have a couple of just some basic questions. First of all, you remember your Miranda rights and all that I read to you. You understand? You understand that you want to keep talking right now, you can have your own free will. Do you guys have a life insurance policy?
Yeah.
What is it a large amount? What is it?
I don't know how much it is.
Everybody, paints you guys as a model couple. And I said, I'm just going to keep trying to talk you through it so you can just keep going. So, obviously couples argue.
We don't.
Never argue.
We didn't.
Never argued at all. How did you solve your differences?
We didn't have many.
Correct me if I'm trying to remember. What?
We just talked. We never yelled at each other.
You guys, did you date prior? You've been married a year and a half, approximately, you said?
Yeah, we've been almost 4.
And almost together 4. So it's been 4 years you've been together.
During that custody battle, did you ever get stressed out Frustration's normal. It's a very tense situation, so that's not really a big deal.
Yeah. No.
How's finances in your house right now?
Fine. I mean, we have our bills, but we're not like in debt, and we were trying to get them all paid off this year. That was our goal, to buy a house.
Mm-hmm. So there's not a tremendous amount of debt.
And that's all.
Okay, I need to talk about some evidence things real fast. Okay? This being your bed.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. We'll say the pillows are here.
Mm-hmm.
Where were you sleeping? Okay. And where was Ben? We'll say. How close to you? I mean,
pretty semi-close. Like, I think my face was facing his, so my face was like here, and he was like there.
So, what would you say this distance was? And a guess.
1 inch, 2 inches, I guess. I don't know.
Do you guys usually sleep where you're kind of cuddling, touching? Like,
No. Normally we sleep back to back.
Back to back?
Well, because I fall asleep first, and I'm always comfortable on that side because I have back problems.
But you guys sleep close together, though?
Yeah.
Okay.
And what were you wearing when you went to bed?
What you saw me in.
Okay. How was the blankets? I know you had the Giants blanket on you.
I have no idea.
Unless your face, do you...
Yeah, normally like here. Like
Okay.
chest, arms, like... Ben always kicks them down off the end of the bed, and that's why I have my Giants blanket. And I always have that because him and Alyssa don't sleep with blankets on.
I'm going to go over some stuff. You said you got up about 2 o'clock?
Mm-hmm.
How do you know it was 2?
Because I remember looking at a clock or seeing a clock, and then in the bed everything was fine, and then I remember hearing ruckus in the kitchen a little bit, thinking it was just a cat, and going back to bed, and then that sound, like, I remember hearing a gunshot. Like, I didn't know it was a gunshot, but just a loud noise, and then I thought I was dreaming, but then my ear was ringing, and I'm like, am I, dreaming? And then I started smelling the gun smoke, and that's what made me wake up and like, Ben, are you there? Something I remember hitting me on the head.
What do you mean?
Something like hit me. I don't know if it was a piece of him. I don't know. No. Craig made us dinner on the couch, and I don't remember being like I fell asleep. I remember Ben trying to wake me up and say, "Hey, babe, come to bed." I just fell asleep, and I'm tired. Like working 2 jobs is not.
Tell me when. You got up at 2. When you got into bed, did you kiss Ben goodnight? Did you talk to him at all?
No.
Did you look at him at all? Do you remember, did he look fine at 2 o'clock in the morning?
Yeah.
He wasn't injured in any way?
No.
Okay.
Because I snuggled up next to him,
Right.
pulled closer, and I must have and that's why I think I didn't move and turn over to my side like I normally would, because I was already sleeping and had just gone in there and fell back asleep.
You said you heard some noise in the kitchen. You described it as kind of rambling.
It sounded like pots or pans, or I was like, oh, the cats are jumping over the sink, and that's what I thought, like dishes or them knocking a plant down, because that's all very normal.
From that time that you heard that noise to when you heard the gunshot, had you gone back to sleep, or was it?
Yeah.
So you don't know what the time delay was or the difference, but you think you got back to sleep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know it was, because I woke up thinking I was dreaming.
I have some dynamic problems, okay? I understand that I don't work off of people's emotions. I don't work off of passion. I have to work off of evidence. That's how we work. What I'm seeing, and I have to confront you on some things to make sure I understand what's going on, is first of all, is that at this range, in the amount of blood that came out, you don't have any on you. Okay, there should have been some amounts of blood on you.
And that's what's weird. So I got up, I heard those noises, and I got up and I went out, on my own. And at that time, I remember looking at Ben, he was fine. I just shook him, didn't see anything. And it was still dark, and so I have no idea. So I went out there, and then I came back, and that's when I, was like, babe, I tried going over to the side, and I kneeled on the bed, and I was like, babe, you're throwing up. I was like, babe, you're getting sick. Because that's what I saw in the dark. That's when, I heard gurgling. And, that's when I, saw stuff coming out, and then I went and turned on the light and realized what had happened.
Another problem, okay, if this is the wall, okay, here's your nightstand, is that the angle trajectory of everything, there is little pellets, okay, at the level that should have struck you. And I don't understand why.
I normally am lower than Ben,
Okay.
playing in bed. like, he always has pillows and I lie pretty flat, like, and if anything, I have, like, normally a little purple pillow.
Okay.
That's smaller. I do remember something hitting me, but I don't know. I don't know.
Another problem I'm having is you're closed. There's a difference between when something lands on you and makes a mark and when there's a pool and you lay in something. Can you understand what I'm saying? It soaks. Your clothes and everything have appearance of something that you laid in, like you laid down into the blood, as opposed to it being cast upon you.
Well, when I got up, there wasn't anything on me. Like, I don't think anything got on me until I came back to get him when I walked down the hall. And, like, it didn't come out. I don't know.
How do you...
And I kneeled down on the bed.
Okay.
Like, I thought he was puking. And then I came back over here, turned on the light, and looked this way.
Okay, now, your handprint is right here on his back, like you told me shaking him.
Mm-hmm.
From this position. So you shook him from here?
Yeah, but I also there should be one, like, on his shoulder, I think, facing me.
And again, I have to clear these things up. Another thing I don't understand is why, if somebody shoots him, okay, and I understand this is a concussion of some kind and woke you up, why did you not hear, or why did you not see anything? Like you hear someone run down the hallway, or a shadow, or a car drive away.
I didn't go all the way out there, but I don't know. I honestly don't know.
That's okay. I'm just trying to find these questions I have. What did you hear besides the gunshot?
That's all I heard.
Another issue I got is the rounds that got him are rounds that are in the house. And the same type of what looks to be number 8 birdshot shotgun rounds. You see why I'm concerned a little bit? And
I do, but I don't touch guns. I haven't.
For how long?
Since hunting, or not hunting, but target shooting with my dad like 3 Thanksgivings ago.
And I need your continued help to help me get over these hurdles, okay?
You're doing really good, Melissa. You're doing really good.
Because they're not easy, but I have to do the right thing for him, for you, and this county, okay? And I really need you to tell me the truth.
I don't know.
Okay. Sometimes people's involvement goes beyond just. It doesn't mean you didn't pull the trigger, but sometimes people know more than they want to tell or share. And I really need it all.
I honestly don't know. And I just don't see my brother doing it. Like, he's the one that does the guns, but I just don't. He's not. I have no idea. No idea.
You see, and the problems they're there is if you're just a random murder, why don't they take you out? I mean, you're right there.
That's what I thought.
You're a
That's
witness.
why my only thing is like, done. For them. Because her vendetta was with Ben.
But why
didn't they take out any of the rest of it?
Exactly. Well, why did they leave a witness right there who was facing them when they pulled the trigger?
I was so asleep. Like, I sleep sound.
Well, I'm not saying it from your standpoint, from their standpoint.
I don't know.
Why are they going to leave you there? Unless it's somebody that cares about you. Dawn doesn't care about you. Her boyfriend that she has doesn't care about you. Your explanations are okay.
I don't know what to tell you.
Just the truth is all I'm hoping you're giving me.
Oh,
Because, like I said, in this point in this job,
I know it doesn't make sense to you, but it doesn't make sense to me either.
Not necessarily a huge bad thing, but it's stuff that I have
It's the worst feeling thinking that you're getting blamed for your husband.
Melissa, understand that I'm not blaming you. I'm asking you to help me solve the problems and the questions I have. Okay?
Also, think of the evidence that Ron's talking about the scene as a math problem.
Yeah.
And it's just not adding up. And so we're just trying to figure out possibilities. That's all. We're not blaming you. We're not saying you did this. We're just asking for you to help us figure out what may have happened. Because we have to follow the evidence.
And when you are more calm, maybe tomorrow, maybe the next day, we'll probably ask you to still take a polygraph just to keep putting those, I keep getting these hurdles over, I keep putting them aside, I keep going, okay, this one's done, Craig's done. And I guarantee you we will find who did this. And I will be honest with you. If it ends it, Melissa, listen, I know you're upset, but you gotta listen a little bit too. We will find out who did this. And the idea is to get there as fast as we can. But I will tell you that if you had some involvement, I'm just going to tell you, we're going to find it out. And I really don't want to have to go through those problems with you later. That's why we keep doing this over and over to make sure that we know for sure that you're...
I know, I'm sure. It has nothing to do with it.
And please don't take this as not, trying to be mean to you or anything. It's not that. It's trying to make sure the right thing is done for you. Okay, and that's the focus here, is about Ben. Just as he would be here fighting for you if it was in reverse roles.
That's why I'm here.
I know you are.
Anything else with Dawn that you maybe have thought of? Or anyone else? Any other problems that we can start looking into? Like my partner said early on, who we've talked to, paint a very nice picture of you guys. You're respected a lot by your friends. So we're looking at every angle, and we're turning over every stone. Everyone's getting examined like this. So it is nothing personal. We're just trying to be very thorough with this. I really appreciate your cooperation and you coming down. I know this is so hard. Worst day of your life, and you're doing really good helping us out. We appreciate that.
It was now Craig's turn to share his account of what happened.
Second interview, same date, 2/21/08. Time is 5:30 a.m. Here with Craig Nichols. Okay, I'm going to ask you some questions. I'm going to read your Miranda rights so you understand them. Okay? You ever had your Miranda rights read, do you?
No, not recently.
Okay. You allowed me to take the gunshot residues test off your hands. I appreciate that. Any problem with me doing that?
No.
Do you understand what that does, that test? Did they explain to you?
He said that it, gets the gun...
If you fire a gun, it tells us.
Yeah.
And do you work right now?
No, I'm in school.
What school do you go to?
Douglas.
12th grade?
Yes.
Why are you living with Melissa and Ben?
Because my mom got back together with Richard, and I don't like
Go ahead and tell me what your take on today was. What happened?
I was sleeping, and then all of a sudden I got woke up with a bunch of lights in my face.
You didn't even hear anything going on, huh?
Not until the cop was walked in and was like, "We got one in here." Well, it had his lights in my face, so I couldn't see anything. That's it.
What time did you go to bed?
I went to bed. I fell asleep on the couch with Melissa. And then I got up and went in my room at about 1 something. Melissa was still on the couch. I don't know what time she went to bed.
Is that something you normally do?
No.
Sleep on the couch? Does Melissa usually sleep on the couch?
No. They always sleep in the room.
She doesn't fall asleep on the couch?
Oh, she falls asleep on the couch because we usually watch a movie while we're eating dinner.
Okay.
As soon as you put a movie on, she's...
How's your relationship with Ben?
Very well. I talk to him more than most of my brothers.
How'd it go? What was his mood last night?
Happy. We were all laughing at that movie.
He watched a movie with you?
Yeah.
You have guns?
I have a shotgun. It's not under my name. And then I have my younger brother has his shotgun over there too.
And where are those at?
They were in the garage.
You think anybody would want to hurt Ben?
Everybody likes him. I really don't see anyone that would want to hurt him. Besides maybe his ex-wife, but that's the only person that I could think of. Dawn, I think.
Why do you think she'd want to hurt him?
Well, I don't really think that's the only one that I could even think of that would want to hurt him. I don't know why. Maybe, they just got done a little bit ago with their court case for Alyssa, and Ben ended up winning it, so he's got full custody of Alyssa.
Is the house usually left unlocked?
Yeah.
Did you hear any cars going away?
Not until you guys got there. I did not hear anything. I was pretty tired last night.
Okay.
I was in a pretty deep sleep. Even when they got there, I didn't even know what was going on really.
Part of this process, just so you know, is an elimination process. Obviously, I have to eliminate possible suspects, and that's why you're here being interviewed. I'm going to ask you bluntly, and I apologize for doing it, but I have to. Did you kill Ben?
No, I did not.
Okay. Would you be willing to take a polygraph?
What's that?
A polygraph is basically it's a lie detector.
Oh yeah, I'd take whatever.
And I'm sorry. I mean, it looks like somebody shot him in the head. There's some tissue there if you need some. He's so liked, and everybody's, painting a good picture of him, which I'm glad they're doing, but it makes no sense. No one just walks in our town and just shoots somebody for no reason.
I don't really know of one person that is mad with him. Don's the only one that even came to mind, unless there's stuff going on that I don't even know about.
Right.
People don't go into someone's house undetected, blow somebody away. That doesn't happen.
Unless they're not theft or they take out everybody else, so just him, You know what it is? It's somebody he knows. It's somebody that's familiar with the house.
Whenever we have a person that's murdered, we look at the family, the spouse, and then we start taking the family out, and then we go distant people. The job is not to say that you guys did it, it's to say that you guys didn't do it, just to get rid of you as suspects. If you hear something, please tell us. Because I don't care what the information is, we got to find out who did this.
Both Melissa and Craig agree to take a polygraph. Those examinations were scheduled for a few days later to allow time to grieve. The one thing investigators did not expect was 6-year-old Alyssa being a witness.
Alyssa, how old are you?
6.
So, Alyssa, you told me in the bedroom. Can you tell me again what you told me about last night?
Well, I was just fast asleep. My mom, I saw her woke. I just heard this noise, talking and stuff, and I just got fast asleep when my mom heard the shot on my dad, and I just woke up when she turned on the light, and I heard that someone shot my dad.
Okay. What did you hear, though? Instead of what you heard people say, did you hear anything?
Don't think about what I was telling 911. Did you hear anything?
I heard.
Did you hear anybody walk or anything?
I think I heard a little creak at the door.
Okay. You see anybody?
No, I was just fast asleep, but I woke up and heard this creak at the front door. I heard it, and I just looked out, and I saw somebody walking in, and then I just went back.
Do you know who they were?
I don't know who it was.
Male or female?
I don't know who it was, and after that, I just saw my mom coming in, and blood was all over her.
Okay. You're pretty smart. Do you know your date of birth? When you were born?
What?
You know when you were born? Your birthday?
August.
Wow, that is good.
2001.
Anything you want to talk to me about? Any questions?
Got more bacon?
There's plenty of bacon. There's lots of French toast.
Yeah, we're talking.
I'm going to be joining you here in a minute. You go with my partner, go back outside, we'll sit with Craig. Thank you. She's cute.
That's crazy if she saw it. That was scary.
What we're going to do is we're going to try to keep you guys here for a while, just because there's a lot of reasons. I was talking to Craig, and I'm going to ask you some questions again that I don't think you're going to want me to ask you, but I have to ask him. Craig, I'm going to go with the most logical thing.
Okay.
He owns a shotgun.
Mm-hmm.
I believe that's what's used. Is there any reason that he would have, I don't mean he doesn't have to hate him, but to have that type of mentality of, I want to shoot somebody, see what it's like.
Ben was like a father figure to him. Our dad's not really in the picture. Craig's been living with us the last year and a half.
And I just don't know because I don't have a why. I mean, obviously you didn't do it. Obviously Craig didn't do it.
It's a jealous ex-wife.
I understand we're working that.
Craig has the softest, gentlest heart.
We have to eliminate all the possibilities to find the possible.
I understand your job, but
Okay.
I don't even know what to tell you.
Anyone at work that's been hitting on you or...
I work with all guys, so that's hard to say because in my profession, I've had from the day I've ever started there, it's always been, I always get harassed. Especially,
anything that you see,
it's a common thing. Like, it's them joking around, it's them whatever, but there's no one ever that's been, serious.
Okay, so nothing recent people have been,
No, and most
creepy.
of them all married.
Okay.
They all love Ben. Ben did side jobs on all their houses.
Try and forget about what you saw versus what you remember.
Yes.
I know.
I don't want her to go to her mom. It's so dangerous there.
Let's get you to your friends, let you heal a little bit.
As detectives finished their interviews, other investigators made their way to Ben's ex-wife and Alyssa's mother, Dawn's house, to notify her of Ben's death. She lived only 20 minutes from Ben. When investigators advised Dawn of Ben's death, she appeared distraught. They brought her to the station for an interview.
I watch this stuff on TV. This is not me.
Okay.
This is not my life.
Dawn,
why do I watch this stuff on TV?
I need to read Miranda before we say anything.
Okay.
Okay. That's
I have a right to.
Dawn, please. 221. It's 7:45. Case number 0804925. I'm here with Dawn Oxley. What time did you get to work yesterday?
4.
4? What time did you get off work?
Well, they signed me out at 8:15. I left at 8:30.
Did you go straight home?
Yeah.
You didn't stop anywhere?
No.
Okay. Who was at the house last night?
My son, Devin, my daughter, Brandy, and James. And James is my, best friend's son. He hangs out there a lot, and he helps me watch my kids when I'm at work.
And how old is James?
James is 21.
What's his last name?
Matt Lean, Matlean.
Are you romantically involved with James?
No. Him and I are just really good friends.
But he sleeps in your bed with you.
I mean, well, he sleeps in the bed. It doesn't mean he sleeps in the bed with me, but he sleeps in there, yes. Because I know at 11 o'clock I did a shot, and I went, I can't drink anymore because I really don't feel good, and I have to get up this morning. I was supposed to get up this morning and go do all kinds of stuff today.
How many shots do you think you had?
At that point, I had I think that was my 3rd or 4th one.
How about throughout the course of the night? Did you have any more?
I had to have done at least 5, and maybe 6.
And what time did you think you went to sleep?
I watched the movie The Departed and Descent, and I don't know, about 4:30.
Okay. At 4:30, who else is still up?
James was still awake with me, and he kept telling me to go to bed.
Tell me about Ben. What's your relationship like?
I really tried to avoid him at all.
How long you guys been divorced?
Since 2004.
How long were you married?
I married him. I got together with him in 97. We married in 99. I got divorced in 04. In 07, we went to court. 2005, he asked if he could keep my daughter for a while, and it's really hard being a mom with 3 kids, one parent with 3 kids. So I said, okay, and he pushed, and what do you want to know? Because there's a history there that's one thing after another.
Well, just trying to establish
and I couldn't, the
family dynamics. So Alyssa is your child together.
He hates me. The man hates me. He hates me for asking him for the divorce. He hates me for leaving him. He hates me for everything. He got remarried to Melissa, and that's who takes care of my daughter.
How does that make you feel?
How does that make me feel?
Yeah.
Melissa's a good person. I'm sure she could take care of her just fine. But it is my daughter. It would be nice if I could take care of her, but I try to make it okay by saying, you know what, I have 2 kids already. I'm a single parent, and maybe she'd be better off. The worst part of it, what hurts is when she calls her mom.
What happened in court for the courts to give her custody over here?
We went to court, and I didn't get my day in court. I didn't get it. They heard him all day, and the judge said he didn't have time. We're out of time. We're not going to pay them for overtime.
Okay, so the courts ruled. They gave that
in his favor, yeah. They ruled in his favor, and the judge at the end said, this can be overturned. If I've got $5,000 to $8,000 to pull out of my ass, okay.
As a result of the custody, were you required to pay anything, child support?
Yeah, he got custody the date of the trial, and then there was a conference call a month and a half, 2 months later, and they tried to tell me that I made more money than I did. Anyway, he brought it down. He said $200 a month, plus I have to pay half their insurance.
Are you angry with Ben over all this? How does it make you feel?
Well, yeah, I'm angry with him. I was angry with him 4 years ago. I was angry with him 6 years ago when he cheated on me in the marriage. I was angry. I was always angry. That's why I asked for the divorce. I was angry when he busted up my house when I said I think we need a divorce. Do you know
of anyone that would want to hurt him. He didn't want it all. And there's a difference between someone that would want to hurt him and someone that's capable of doing it.
Somebody that would know where he lived.
God, I don't know. I don't.
Something I'm going to have to ask
Just
you.
think somebody would want to hurt him. I mean...
Don, something I'll have to ask you. Did you do it?
No. That's my daughter loves her daddy, and I know that.
It's a question that we have to ask.
Okay, no, I didn't.
Did you?
I didn't hurt my
ex-husband. Did you arrange to have it done?
No.
Okay. Would you be willing to take a polygraph test to verify those statements?
Yes.
We look at family and close people in the circle that are the closest to Ben, and then we expand out. And our job is to look at the people that know him the most to clear you, to say, hey, Don didn't do this. Okay, and our circle gets bigger. So this is something that we have to do. I know this is tough. I know you're tired. You're doing great, and I really appreciate your assistance in cooperating. Because I will tell you.
Are you lying to me? Because I don't want to be lied to. Please don't lie to me. Just tell me what you think.
No, I'm not lying to you. We're trying to search for information.
Okay.
I will tell you.
If you think I'm like a suspect of something, or if I did something, just tell me, please.
We've had the same conversation with Melissa, with Craig, with the friends already. Everyone. Believe me. I will tell you, if I thought you did this, you wouldn't talk to me. You wouldn't be here right now. You'd be gone. You'd tell me to F off. You wouldn't be here cooperating in the sheriff's office talking to us, giving me consent to search your house, consent to have us take GSR off your hands. We've done this the exact same way with everyone so far. There's no benefit for me being dishonest with you at this point.
Okay.
How much money do you think Ben makes a year in that business? I have no clue what.
Well, according to when we went to court, they said they made like $4,000 a month together, which he does side jobs. I mean, he made money. He made like, he's so full of shit. I don't know. He has to make over $60,000 a year.
Okay.
I don't know if that's what he claims or not, but I know he has to make plenty of money. And that makes me mad that I have to pay him to have my daughter, who I gave birth to, when he makes triple the amount of money I make. Yes, that made me mad.
Okay.
Yes, it does.
I'm mad enough to kill him, though.
No.
That's an honest response.
Are you kidding me? He's actually dead. He's actually dead. My ex-husband's actually dead.
Yes.
Totally and completely dead. He's no longer breathing. He's not here anymore. And my daughter did not have... Are you kidding? Wait, no, you're not kidding. Wait. Okay.
Don,
he is not alive?
No. And I've told you that several times. I told you that at your house.
I know. But
You really need to focus. I know this is hard, but you really need to focus. Okay? John, listen. Not only for the sake of this investigation, but also your daughter.
he's not breathing. He's never ever going to breathe again.
Oh, no.
During all the court stuff, I just wanted him to go away. I would have loved him to just go away. I wanted him to fall off the face of the earth. But it's not something I was serious about. I mean, it's not like I want him to die. I just wanted him to go away.
Did you ever talk to anybody about that, though?
Never jokingly made plans one night drinking and say, this is what I would love to do, and just sit there and bullshit with a girlfriend or James or someone.
No, you can even you look at my kids and ask them, who would your mom love to just disappear? They'd tell you him. My kids hate him with every second of their body. They hate him because they know what he's done and they know what he put me through, and they were there for it. And you can look at my kids and you can ask them, in this entire world, who would your mom want to disappear? And they tell you in a heartbeat, Ben.
If there's one person in the world that you could think of that would do that to Ben, who would that be?
After Dawn's interview concludes, she spends time with her daughter Alyssa at the station. Detectives then interview Melissa for a second time.
You can think of anything at all. Any past enemies, debts that were owed, people that you pissed off at work, side job that went wrong, anything at all.
Some of the other issues we're having is it wasn't a theft, nothing was stolen, as far as we can tell. No one burglarized the house. It wasn't a burglary gone wrong, because usually that's an execution of everybody. So it is definitely, it's something you guys know, and some it was personal.
I know. That's what we've already been thinking about. And I don't understand why. I don't
Well, that's what we're going to find out is why.
Do you think the problems that Ben had with Dawn, do you think she's mad enough at him to do this?
Yes.
To make that leap from...
And if not her, she would have to find someone. She knows enough bad people. She was so mad. So mad.
What would be her reason in your mind?
Well, before, when I first met Ben, like, I've always heard from Scott and Cindy, Brandy's dad hated her. Or hated them. And always he was going to get out and kill him. We used to take Brandy when me and Ben first got together because I came from a divorced family and have issues and my heart goes out to children. So we started taking Brandy, but then Brandy started lying and stealing from Alyssa and hitting Alyssa. And this was Alyssa was only 3. And I remember calling Dawn on the issue and saying we weren't going to take her no more. And she goes, I'm done raising my children. That was her response to me. All that I've heard from Ben, like, I honestly don't know too much about her except for what I've seen and how she mothers. I don't know anything much about them in their past. I know Cindy has told me that they would get in hand fights, like, they would fight.
Physical fights.
Physical fights in their marriage. I do know that. I do know that Dawn despises Ben. Despises that we want. She's a very self-centered person. And she's the only one that I can think that would have a reason to kill him.
What do you think if, and people are telling us that picture that you're painting of Dawn has been portrayed by others too. But what would Dawn gain by killing Ben?
Alyssa back, not having to pay child support. No.
Revenge.
Social Security, pure revenge. Revenge.
Would she see Alyssa as a burden?
And she likes me. She knows Alyssa loves me. And Dawn said in court when we were in the summer, well, if I had to have anyone for my daughter for stepmom, it would be me. Like, her issue wasn't with me. It was a power struggle between her and Ben. That's purely what it was.
Dawn told me, I asked her about why she got divorced with Ben. What is your knowledge on that?
I had heard both of them had been cheating on each other. They were going to get divorced. They were trying to get separated prior to Dawn getting pregnant. Dawn got pregnant on purpose to keep to keep Ben around. I just heard they just didn't get along. They fought. They argued all the time. Like, it was a constant thing.
You said you heard that they both cheated on each other. Do you know, which one do you believe? What did Ben tell you specifically?
He said he had cheated on her, but I don't know who cheated on her first.
Okay. So he admitted to cheating on her.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. It seems like, from what I've learned today, is that when Ben was with Dawn, he was a different person than he was with you. Would that be a fair statement?
Yeah. They were pill poppers. They were drinkers.
In the 4 years you guys have been together, have you seen any of the traits that you knew of the old when he was with Dawn?
Like, I've seen him get, when he gets mad, he's all mad. Like, I've seen that trait. Okay. He's never put his hand on us. I've never seen him be abusive to Alyssa, to me. And that's the thing, like, she just brought the worst out of him.
It sounds like it.
She's evil.
We both are truly, truly sorry for your loss.
And the best thing we know how to do to show it to you is to catch whoever did this. What's your greatest fear right now?
Alyssa getting taken away.
Since you brought that up, I'm going to tell you that Dawn's been calling me and asking about Alyssa. What's going to happen? I haven't talked to you yet. What I'm going to tell her.
You see how cold she was when she was here to her? Alyssa told them when I was there. My mom laughed at me and said, Alyssa, don't worry. You don't need to cry. Or something like that.
I want you to know.
And that's Alyssa's word. She shouldn't have to feel that.
Well, I tell you, our stance still is where she's at now is where she's staying. Okay. I'm going to tell Dawn, and what the judge told me was that Dawn needs to get her attorney. If she wants to get custody, she needs to file it through the courts. Okay?
The judge told her she was an unfit parent for her and I couldn't select.
I know.
How could she go back there?
We're not saying she is. We're saying that. And you also have to understand whether Dawn is a horrible parent. She's still.
I know it's Alyssa's mom. She doesn't deserve to be anybody's mom.
It's the court's decision, okay? It's not ours. But for now, going to stay put with you guys, okay?
Tonight, if you wake up in the middle of the night and you have questions, you can call me. Okay?
In speaking with the 4 individuals at Dawn's, they confirmed they were there all night. However, when asked to recall the events of that night in a second interview, Dawn's story remained the same except for the early morning hours.
And I sent James down to 7-Eleven to get cigarettes. I don't even know what time that was. I don't know what time that was. I know it was late.
Can you just take a guess, thinking back on what time that might have been?
No. I'm assuming it was really early in the morning. I was really, really drinking a lot, so...
Surveillance video confirmed that James was at the convenience store the morning of the homicide. With this new information, detectives had some questions for James. However, their questions would have to wait, as James refused to speak with them. In the meantime, the GSR test results of James, Dawn, Melissa, and Craig all came back negative. Melissa and Craig took and passed their respective polygraphs, eliminating them as suspects. A team of officers conducted open surveillance of James and Dawn, adding pressure to see if one of them would come forward with some information. It was clear from the surveillance that James and Dawn's relationship was more than friends. The two went everywhere together. If they were lying about their relationship, what else were they lying about? Roughly 7 months after the murder, police got a chance to speak with James when they arrested him for failing to register as a felon. The address he provided to his parole officer did not match the address on his driver's license. He was on parole after serving a year for grand theft of a motor vehicle. He was paroled just 4 months before Ben's death.
I told you I had information that you were involved. And that's what I believe.
You think I killed him? Do you honestly to God think I killed this guy?
You were involved.
You really do think that?
James, I know you're involved. But before we go any further, let me explain a couple things, okay? Because you're in custody, and because you came here, you asked to speak to me, I want to make sure that we're not violating any of your rights, okay? And this is really important for us to sit and talk. I'm glad you called and asked for me to come down here and talk. I mean, I was on my day off today, but I come in to talk to you, okay? I do have to get the Miranda rights stuff out of the way because you're in custody. You know how this works. You're in jail, you just take the handcuffs off you, okay? You don't have to talk to me. You asked to talk to me, okay?
Is this interview being recorded?
Yes.
It is?
Yes.
Okay.
I said before, Jim, that I'm going to be completely honest with you with everything that I have, okay? I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not going to lie to you about anything. I don't expect you to lie to me about anything. The information in this case is that you were involved in the death of Ben Oxley, okay? I have lots of information. I'm going to explain to you. We've been watching you for 6 months. We were watching you when you were down at your trade class, okay? Phones, everything, okay? Mm-hmm. So this is a very important interview for you. You have to be honest. That's the only way anything in this situation is going to help you out. Put it on speakerphone.
How do you do that? Dawn? Dawn? It's James. They arrested me for this stupid thing. My bail is $5,000 cash only.
Hold on. I got them calling me back. Okay, hold on.
No, wait, I'm not. No. I only have one phone. I only have one phone call.
They're calling me. Hold on. Shit. Stop answering. Listen. You get out today, okay?
You promise you're gonna post my bail?
They'll kick you out if you let me answer the goddamn phone.
Okay, answer it.
They hung up.
They want me to. I've told them I'll take the lie detector test if they want. Get the $5,000 and pay my bail. I will go to court, please.
Okay. I got it. Okay?
Okay.
I'll do it today.
You promise I'll be out today?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay,
I don't know what. Listen, I'm gonna tell you something right now, okay? I got out of prison. I sold drugs to kids. I was fucked up. I had no. I didn't give a fuck. I went back to prison. These kids were so pissed at me because I quit selling drugs and I grew the fuck up and I didn't want to do it anymore. I don't want to go back to prison. I don't care what you've heard. Don't do this to this guy.
Then we need to talk. Like you said,
I will talk to you. Let me go, man.
Fill out the Miranda form. So I understand that you know your rights. You know you don't have to talk to me.
I will fill this out. If you tell me you're going to let me go.
I can't promise that. All I can promise you is that we will talk, okay? This situation with you, as far as being arrested for not registering as a felon, will be taken care of, okay? We can talk to the judge, whatever, but I can't promise you those things to get you to talk to me about something else. It doesn't.
Here, look.
If I do that, I'm violating your rights, okay?
Look,
I can't make
I'm
promises.
signing everything. What else do I need to sign? Is that it?
It says that you understand your rights.
I understand my rights.
Says that you'll talk to me. Sign right here.
Where? You guys are fucking with me, and you have no idea what the fuck I...
Okay.
Look.
Let me ask you something, James.
I fucking killed
I explained to you.
I straightened my life out, dude. I went to school.
We've been on your ass for the last 6 months.
And what do you think you have on me?
You're missing gun.
Missing gun? I know when I was in prison, my mom bought something, I'm pretty sure it was a shotgun for my brother.
Mm-hmm.
I just found out 3 weeks ago that she sold it. My brother thought that it was somewhere.
It was at Don's house.
I don't know.
You do know.
I don't. Whether you believe me or not.
James, if we're going to have these conversations, you can't lie to me.
Oh my God. My parents would not jeopardize me going back to prison. If it was at Don's house, where was it? Where?
It was in the shed.
The shed in the back? My mom is the only
James,
person that had a key to
you
that.
lied to me when I talked to you.
When? What did I say?
The times that I had when we first talked. Remember I talked to you? When this first happened in the garage? You and I sat down there? You lied to me during that interview. Several times.
I lied to you.
You did, right?
Oh my God. I'm going to stop talking real quick. I want to ask, can I ask you questions?
Absolutely anything you want. Absolutely.
And you're going to be honest with me, and you're not going to, I don't want you to tell me I'm a liar. I want you to just answer me.
Sure.
What do you think I lied to you about?
In that first interview, when I originally asked you if you had gone out of the house that night, you told me no.
Okay.
You made up a big story about how you guys watched movies all night long, how you passed out on the couch, how you, et cetera, et cetera. You went on about that. Later, I found out through surveillance video that you were at 7-Eleven.
I admitted that.
Later, you lied to me during the first interview. Did you not?
Look, it wasn't...
No, my turn to ask a question. Did you or did you not lie to me during that interview?
What I said to you, I'm an alcoholic. I'm not going to lie about that, okay? You can go to 7-Eleven and ask anybody that works there. I go there all the time and get liquor.
I know.
About
1, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning you guys are there.
Me going and telling you I didn't leave was not... I go there all the time. Every night I go to 7-Eleven. It was not an intentional lie saying I didn't go anywhere. It's just some... You don't believe me. It doesn't matter what I say right now.
It absolutely does. It does. And you're right. And we saw you on surveillance the night before with Don at 7-Eleven. And what makes us worried is that you're at 7-Eleven 1:30, almost an hour and a half before Ben is killed. It's too coincidental for us just to go, oh, James, he's telling us the truth. We're going to leave.
Well, I'm going to tell you the truth. I don't even remember that first interview. I don't even remember the names of the movies I told you I watched. I remember one was Descent.
You remember one?
And I don't remember shit. I don't remember what time I told you. I don't remember that. I don't know.
From our investigation, we have determined that you and Don are involved. Okay? I didn't say you pulled the trigger, didn't say Don pulled the trigger, didn't say whatever. Okay? But you guys are involved. Ben Oxley was killed.
To tell me, do you think I sat wherever the hell he was killed at and pulled his goddamn trigger and killed him?
I don't have all the pieces to the puzzle. Okay? Do I think it's possible? Yes.
You think I killed somebody?
I think it's possible. But I know for a fact that you were involved.
How do you know?
James, because I told you. We've been listening to phone conversations. We've been watching where you are. We've been watching where Dawn is. Listening to Dawn's phone conversations. Okay? James, this is coming down like a ton of bricks. Okay? And here's the thing. We are able to put together what pieces of that puzzle that we can. But always, whenever we do this, there's puzzle pieces that we don't have because people don't talk to us all the way. Plus, some people lie to us. Plus, some people don't give us their full information. Okay? So what we have to do is do our best to paint a picture with the puzzle pieces that we have. But what I'm telling you right now is from the investigation, you and Dawn were involved. Okay? And if you want to save yourself, if Dawn wants to save herself, people have to tell the truth. Okay? Because I know Ben wasn't this sweet, innocent person that everybody paints the picture of him to be. I know that he had his demons, he had his problems as well. He wasn't necessarily a good guy when it came down to dealing with Dawn. Okay? And I know that you said you're an alcoholic. And there's reasons why you might have decided to be involved in this. Spur of the moment, upset, heat of the moment, things could have happened. And I'm not saying that you went there and pulled a trigger necessarily, because I don't know that. But I do know that you were involved in his death.
Am I under arrest for murder?
No, you're not.
Am I going to be under arrest for murder?
I can't promise you or tell you you won't.
Do you have evidence that I murdered somebody?
James, yes, I have information in this case that says you were involved in this murder. Absolutely.
That I pulled the trigger?
I didn't say that. I want you to be honest with me. If you did, then let's talk about that.
Jesus Christ, I'm not
James,
talking. I did
did,
not kill him.
You keep focusing on that.
It's because I'm freaked the fuck out, man. I don't understand why. I don't know what you've been told or what you've heard. I did not kill him.
But you were involved in his death.
No.
Do you know about it?
I know of what I've been told. That is it.
Do you know who did it?
No. I don't know. What boggles my mind is what you've heard. Who out there is so mad at me that they're saying something?
James, you and Dawn have been inseparable for the last however long. You told me that you weren't having sex with her. She wasn't your girlfriend. You weren't sleeping with her. All that stuff. That's another lie that you made to me. Okay? Am I right? Why do you have reasons to cover that up?
You know, this bullshit you guys just pulled right here is what pisses me off. I want to tell you to fuck off.
I can understand that.
This bullshit, I told you on the phone and left a message. I will talk to you if I have a lawyer
That's
present.
Fine. And you have an opportunity to. If you want one here now,
I have
no. Make a phone call.
I told you I have no problem talking to you, but you guys are harassing everybody. It's bullshit. Tell me right now. What am I? Did I kill Ben? No. Do I know who killed Ben? No. Did Dawn kill Ben? No. Do I know anything about the murder? No.
Were you and Dawn in any way involved in the planning of the death of Ben?
No. I'm looking you in your eyes.
Doesn't mean
I did not kill him.
James,
I had nothing to do with
just
this.
Because you're staring me down does not mean that you didn't do it.
You're here because we're trying to do the right thing. In a sense.
I explained to you before, James. Okay. I'm not here to frame you. I'm not here to get you to admit something you didn't do. I am here to find the truth. Okay? So far, that picture is painted to me, points me every single direction to you. You and Dawn.
Okay. I don't understand why.
I explained to you why. You've made several lies to me, okay? We believe that you guys are the only ones with the motive to do this. There's a lot of reasons. You have avoided talking to us and taking a polygraph test. Dawn has avoided talking to us and taking a polygraph test.
First of all,
you're asking me why. I'm telling you, okay? You're asking me why. You have connections. You've been to prison before, okay? All those kind of things are things that we look at. Every single thing. People were pointing us from your side of the family over to Ben being involved in this, that, and the other thing. None of those have panned out. None of those are true. We looked into everything. You guys are the only ones left in this situation. We took that big thing and we sifted it out, and guess who was sitting on top? That's it. That's where we're at.
Do you have evidence right now to arrest me for murder?
I told you, you're not under arrest for murder.
Do you have evidence to arrest me for murder?
James, I have evidence that says you're involved in this case. James, there were people who overheard you making comments in a rant and a rave that you were going to kill Ben Oxley. I have that.
For messing with Dawn.
For what?
Messing with Dawn. For fucking with her.
I fucked with Dawn?
No, he was.
The person said they heard you cussing and screaming, I'm going to kill Ben Oxley for messing with Dawn.
If I take this polygraph test and I pass it, you will get off my ass for the rest of my fucking life.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You will never call me or question me, period, ever again.
You satisfied completely what we asked. What else?
What else could we do to ask you, James?
And this is about everything that's going on in your world, and this could change your world tremendously. And we understand it. And what Greg's trying to do is offer you a lifesaver at this point, saying, look, you're doing all the things we're asking you to do. When you're done, we're done. Because then I got to find another person to do this to.
But what is your name? I don't even know your name.
I'm Detective Elkus.
You're the head investigator.
That's me, yeah.
You're the person that is pissed off at.
That's me.
James, here's the other thing, though, okay? Just as you're looking at it when you tell me, if I pass this, are you going to get out of my ass? I'm looking at it from another point of view, though,
If I
too.
fail it, you're going to be in my asshole.
Well, not necessarily. But we have to look at that if you fail it, we've been looking in the right direction. So, James, again, you, Don, you tell me neither one of you were involved in setting up.
No.
You didn't? You didn't set it up? You didn't hire somebody? You didn't pull the trigger yourself?
No.
You didn't tell somebody to do it?
No.
Anybody tell you afterwards that they did it?
No.
All that's the truth.
That's the truth.
So you have no idea who did it?
No.
Do you have a guess?
I guess.
Yeah.
Look, I have seen Ben for maybe a half a second. And maybe it was a quarter of his face one time looking out of a window when he dropped Alyssa off. I don't even know what the fucker looks like. I cannot honestly tell you anything. I don't know him. I do not know Ben, period. I've never spoken a word to him in my life. I do not know him.
Okay.
But from what everybody tells me, he's a low-life, shady fuck.
Could Dawn have hired somebody to kill him?
No, I don't know who she... I don't even know she... I don't even think she knows anybody like that. Okay. I mean, fuck, she's scared of guns. I guess you told... Somebody told Dawn it was... He died and he didn't feel any pain and it was a big blast. I'm assuming that's a shotgun because you're tripping over this shotgun that's missing. I'm assuming that's a shotgun. I remember when I was in prison, my mom told me that she had bought my brother a shotgun. This and that, and she took it away from him and she fucking hid it somewhere.
James, if you have any information that can enlighten us on this situation...
I wish I could help you. I don't know what to tell you.
Well, I know, and I don't know what to tell you either. The things that we're seeing and the things that are throwing up all those red flags, I've kind of gone over some of them with you. The whole thing is, James, that if you were involved in this in any way, there could be an explanation. In any way. Even if you knew about it after the fact.
I'm an alcoholic.
And people heard you going off and talking about how you were going to kill Ben Oxley. Did you ever say that?
I can... Look.
Did you ever say that?
Okay, look. I, honest to God, do not recollect me saying that, but I can't say there's something I wouldn't say.
So, if you can't remember, and I have somebody who says you did, you probably did.
Just because I said it doesn't mean I did it.
James, you got to look at where we're coming from. And
Fuck,
again,
man.
if that was said, and if phone calls were made, people were talked to, something was set up, that's different than you're the trigger man. It's different. You know it's different, and I know it's different. That's why you have sat here the whole time and said, do you think I pulled the trigger? Do you think I killed him? I don't think that's not what the pictures point me. Is it still possible? Yes. But the picture's still cloudy. And I'm telling you right now, my gut feeling, James, is that you weren't the person who pulled the trigger. That's my gut feeling, okay? But I know from this investigation that you were involved. I know that for a fact.
With James denying any involvement, police kept the surveillance team on Dawn. Detectives could tell she was uneasy about being surveilled and it was starting to weigh on her. They hoped the stress she was feeling would come out in a statement. After surveilling Dawn for nearly 2 years and her having violated probation from a DUI conviction, she was finally ready to talk.
Are we going to record this? It might be just like videotaped or something.
I'm going to record this. Like I told you from the beginning.
I'm not going to be like on one of those little black and white tapes anywhere, am I?
Black and white tapes?
The other ones you see on TV. It was a while after that he said, no, I could really go take care of it. You know what I mean? Take care of Ben or whatever it is. You could, something along those lines. And he was on the phone. And he said, do you want me to go do that? You know, I'm sitting there going, are you serious? Are you kidding me? What, you know, and then I'm like, what the hell is today? And I kind of sat there and I'm, no. What do you, no. And he goes, well, it's either now or never. And I'm like, no. No. You know, you can't be serious about it because this is ridiculous.
that was the way I looked at it.
Okay. Why were you thinking about what day it was?
I don't know. I do that. I was trying to remember what day, Wednesday, Thursday, what the hell day is today.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I don't know. I don't even know. All right. It was just one of those things I do. I'm like, what the hell is today?
Wednesday's not good for killing. Well, how about Friday?
Well, I don't know. It's just
Okay.
one of those things. I remember asking him what was today. I'm trying to remember every word, and I can't remember every word. All I know is what my mind was in was that whoever was on the phone could go kill Ben that night with him. Do you see what I'm saying? That's what was in that's what I got from this whole, what he said. And I know, I told him, no. And I remember me kind of shaking my head, and I was drunk, remember?
What do you remember next?
He left to go to 7-Eleven, and he took my card. He was supposed to get cigarettes, and he was going to pull money out of the account. Actually, you know what? I didn't even know about the money out of the account until the day later or something. I remember he told me a couple days later, when you guys came to question us, when you came over, like before you guys came over to my house, he said if they ask you about your bank statement, or if they look at your bank account, then tell them I went to 7-Eleven that night and pulled out the money, pulled out $40 out of your account. He didn't want me to say that he had went to 7-Eleven until you guys came to me saying, well, why was this pulled out of this type of 7-Eleven? Because I told you guys he had went to 7-Eleven. And then when you guys left, I told him that, and he said, why did you tell them? They're asking me what happened. I told them what happened, that you went to 7-Eleven. That was you were the only person that left that night.
Right.
I'm like, well, what difference would it make? You went to 7-Eleven, you came back. What, you know what I mean? Other than that puts me being alone and him being alone and him not being there. You know what I mean? I kind of put that all together. I know he went to his mother's house. Okay, I found out later he had went to his mom's house because his mom asked me, like a couple days later, or told me she was kind of freaked out because he showed up at her house and he asked her to borrow her car and he took her keys. The keys to the shed where they kept the guns were on her keychain.
Okay.
She asked if she could keep those there because he was on parole and he was living with her. After he left the house, I fell asleep on the couch.
Okay.
All the lights in the house were on. I was sitting up and I I was out. I don't even know how long it was. And then he came back, because when he came in, he woke me up and said, it's done. And I'm like, what the hell are you talking about? I mean, now mind you, I just slept for, I don't even know how long. Around 4:30 you guys showed up. So this would have been around 3 then that he showed up. Because he woke me up and he said, it's done. And I'm like, what the hell are you talking about? He said, I need you to get up and I need you to follow me to my mom's house so I can drop my truck off. And I went, what the hell? I mean, I'm still kind of bewildered. I was totally drunk and then turned around and now I'm waking up out of a dead sleep trying to understand what he's doing, what he's talking about. And I'm like, what the hell are you talking about? He said, the cops are going to be here. I can't remember if he said, like, I shot Ben or Ben's dead or Ben's been shot or Ben's been killed or, you know what I mean? I don't remember the words. Okay. I think I said, you kidding, right? And I kept, are you kidding? Okay, I'll follow you over there. And I'm, like, out of it still. So I get in my truck and all the way over there, I know I'm, like, going, this is not happening. He's kidding, right? I mean, it's not real yet in my head. It's just not happening. I don't understand it. I'm not understanding it. It's just not there yet.
Right.
When he heard you guys come in and heard that Ben had been shot, he didn't want you guys to find the guns, so he put them in his truck, and that's why his truck was over at his mom's house, and then his mom the next day, I think it was the next day, couldn't understand how his truck got over there when it was at my house to begin with. He came in and he woke me up. I was on the couch. I was laying there on the couch. Okay. So I haven't seen him from the time he left to go to 7-Eleven until he just woke me up. Haven't heard from him, haven't seen him, haven't nothing. I was out. I was in my Explorer. He was in the truck. Followed him over to his mom's house. He parked the truck on the dirt there, and he got in the truck in my car with me. And I came back, and I don't know how he phrased Ben was dead.
But you recall him saying something about that?
Yeah, because I kept going, what in the hell is going on? pull in my garage. I shut the garage door. He goes, we need to get in the house and lay down because the cops are going to be here in a minute. And now I'm starting to go, okay, seriously? You know what I mean? I even remember smiling going, seriously? And he said yes. And I remember we shut off all the lights and we went into my room. We put the Descent movie in. We weren't watching Descent. That was just in. So I remember him telling me that he went to Walmart. He said he bought a pair of shoes and he bought shotgun shells. He bought gloves and he bought tape. He told me tape.
Did he say why he bought those things?
Yeah, he bought the shotgun shells for the shotgun. Mm-hmm. He kept saying the cops will be here in a minute. Why are the cops coming over here? He goes, trust me, they'll be here. I'm like, okay. That was a question that he also asked. He said, do they have dogs? And I thought Ben had dogs, but I guess they were his mom or her mom's or something. Okay. And I said, yeah, they have dogs. But that was a question he did ask me. Okay. While he was on the phone. Anyway, so yeah, then the cops pound on the door, and he's like, that's them. And I'm going, oh my God, what the hell am I supposed to, what am I supposed to do now?
You said that James told you, or he said he whispered to Ben?
That he whispered, this is for lying about Dawn.
And who said that?
See, this is where I was under the impression that he did this. Okay. He said it was you guys. Mm-hmm. He said, that's them right now. And I grabbed the door handle. I was just going to open the door. And I stopped for a second and went, wait a minute. What the hell am I doing? And I peeked. And then I saw all the badges. I went, okay, it is them. It really is. You know what I mean? And the door was almost open. And then I opened the door. Everybody was standing there. And I go, oh, what did I see? Either now what happened or what happened now? Something like that. What happened now? And they looked at me and they said, either my ex-husband died tonight or your ex-husband died. And for a second I had to stop and I'm like, okay, I've got two ex-husbands. Because this is me thinking, this is not real for me. And he goes, your ex-husband, Benjamin Oxley. The first thing out of my mouth was, where's my daughter? That's all I could think about was where was my daughter at that point. Because now it's real.
Right.
And they said, she's fine.
What I want to go to is kind of jump forward to when you first came here. This is when I first met you. They brought you to the station. I talked to you in this room. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I remember coming in here, and I remember...
So, just to refresh, we first met 614 days ago. Okay? So this case has been going on for that long.
And I remember asking you if he was... So he's not breathing?
That's exactly what you said.
Yeah, no, I remember.
Back 614 days ago, when we were first talking, why did you not tell us the information that you had? Everything that you just laid out for us, the stuff that James did.
I didn't know what the hell to think.
Scared about what? We know you didn't do this. We know you didn't do this. I believe you with my whole heart that you didn't do this. I've been troubled by why you wouldn't have told us this.
I couldn't understand why somebody could do something like that or how somebody could do something like that. Okay. I was scared to death and thinking, oh my God, I know people are capable of killing people. It doesn't, that doesn't happen. Well, I mean, it happens. Apparently it happens. And I looked at James and I said, I go, you might want to take a shower. I go, because they're testing me for all kinds of shit. And he looked at me and he said, I don't have anything on me. He said, there's nothing on me. I didn't do it. Somebody else did. That's when he told me somebody else killed Ben.
And so the next day, I came over. It was in the afternoon.
He called me. I never got Alyssa. And I was served the papers. And then you called. And I said, it wasn't even about Ben anymore. It was about this. She took my daughter. My daughter's gone. Where the hell's my daughter? It wasn't even about Ben, and I was pissed off at the entire world at that point.
I know you were.
I went above and beyond pissed off. I could care less at that point whether Ben was dead or he was still alive. I wanted to know where the hell my daughter was. At 5 o'clock that night, Ron called me and said he had turned my daughter over to Melissa because I never saw her and I didn't have custody of my daughter. And I flipped out. I went, you gotta be fucking kidding me. I just got through fighting through this whole thing and they lied about me in that courtroom and that fucking judge believed every second of it. From that second that Ron called me, I did not give a fuck what you guys wanted. I wanted to know where my daughter was, and I was tired, and I didn't even care that Ben was dead. I tried getting a hold of sending Melissa text messages to find my daughter the night before. Where are you? I'm supposed to have my daughter this week, and what's going on? It was no longer about Ben and Ben being dead. It was about my daughter and where the hell my daughter is. And that's why when you called, I told you to kiss my ass or fuck off or whatever it was I said.
I know you're mad. You want to be mad at someone. You need to take some of that responsibility back on yourself because you could have helped yourself out back then. The past is the past, and right now you're helping yourself out, and you're doing great. You're doing awesome.
I watched James get into his truck, take a case out of his truck, and take it into his mom's house.
Okay.
I did not see a gun, but I saw a case. It looked like a light tan brown case. It kind of went like that.
So my question to you is, did he ever specifically tell you
where it was? No.
Where anything was, not just the gun, but
Mm-mm.
anything else?
Mm-mm.
Why do you think James told you any of the things that he did tell you?
I'm thinking maybe he was trying to be, like you said, that knight in shining armor and take care of my problems and be that wonderful person and fix it for me. But instead it made it like 10 times worse.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe if he told me all this stuff, then I wouldn't come to you guys and tell you.
Because this is a lot of information, and I'm going to be very forward with you for a second. I know that this has weighed heavily on you. I've seen your appearance, take no offense, physically you deteriorated a little bit over the stress. So you asked him if he ever set foot in the house, he told you no.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Did you believe him? What I'm asking you is, did you look in his eyes and get the feeling that I believe you or I don't believe you? Because when you know someone, you can do that.
I can't do it. I don't know. I wanted to believe him.
Okay.
And and that was what he said the night of the murder.
Mm-hmm.
He said he was parked way down the street, like by the church. James had only been he had been to that house once.
Okay.
When I dropped off Alyssa one time.
Now we're working to protect you and to ensure that he can't use information to get you.
I didn't drive. I was not. I did not go anywhere. I did not plan this. I did not want Ben dead. There were times that I told my mom, I wish he'd just get into an accident. Maybe one of the air conditioning units will just fall on him someday. That's why I said the only time I've ever said anything to anybody about my ex-husband, like, falling off the face of the earth, would be usually to my mom.
And we've discussed that before. It's one thing to say, I wish they were just out of my life and gone. That's one thing that anyone can make regarding an ex. It's another thing to actually go forward and to commit a homicide.
No. I would not ever. Look, James, I believe he is, like, totally in love with me. When he first met me, I don't even remember the time that he first met me. He told me about the time he first met me. And you guys are not allowed to look at me gross, okay? When I first slept with him, I thought it was wrong. You know what I mean? Because I was how old I was, and he was young. He was just turned 21, you know what I mean? And I know that happens all the time, but I felt uncomfortable with it.
Okay.
And I did not want anybody to know that because I didn't feel comfortable. I didn't want anybody to know. I mean, I had arguments with my kids because my son was really angry with me thinking I was sleeping with him. Well, he did it. I mean, I'm not saying he was the one that pulled the trigger, but I'm saying he did it. He took and he went and bought the stuff. He told me he bought the stuff. He got rid of the guns. To me, he did this. Even if he wasn't the one that pulled the trigger, he did this. He turned my life upside down, and it's not okay. I'm not okay.
Did he ever tell you why this happened? What he did?
No, he never looked at me and said why. I believe he was trying to make my life better. Maybe that's the only thing he felt he could do for me, was take away the person that was making me cry every day. If somebody's capable of doing something like that, as long as I make him happy, I'm not going to be next, right?
That was your mindset?
Yeah.
Tanya, what I think? I believe that there's some things that you haven't told us. I believe that everything that you have told us
is truthful statements. And so I don't think you lied to us, but I think you're leaving some things out that you know. I told you we have a lot of information, and this is part of the test. This is how we do interviews. We ask questions that we know the answers to, or that we know part of the answer to. We know that more was said between you and James.
Dawn did not make any additional statements that increased her involvement. The investigative team all believed there was more to the story, that Dawn was involved. However, to seek justice against the man who pulled the trigger, the district attorney made an immunity agreement with Dawn in exchange for her testimony against James. The agreement required her truthful account of what happened the night of Ben's murder. On June 9, 2010, police arrested James Matleen for first-degree murder and conspiracy to commit murder. 7 months after his arrest, James agreed to provide a statement detailing his involvement in the murder. However, there were some stipulations.
This can't be used against me in court if this doesn't go.
No, if they don't accept our offer, then it can't be used against you in court. It can't be used for impeachment purposes either.
See, I got out of prison October 11, 2007. I started hanging out at Dawn's house. Probably mid-December, we started the relationship on January 14th. Throughout that time, I was underage when I got out of prison. I was drinking a lot. So I could drink over there. My mom would let me drink at her house, so I spent a lot of time at Dawn's house drinking. I'm just going to jump ahead to that night. I just want to get that part of the statement over with. The night of February 20th, I was with Devin, and I think Eric. We went to Burger King, and when I got a call from either Dawn or Brandy saying that Dawn would come home early, we went back to the house. Dawn was upset. She was pissed off. We started drinking. We had Southern Comfort. We had multiple shots in the garage. Multiple shots. We spent hours in the garage, in the house, in the bedroom. We started talking about Rick Haggerty, about how a couple days earlier he had snuck into the doggy door to see what Dawn was up to. We started arguing about Rick. Well, not arguing, just started berating him, talking badly about him, about how much of a piece of shit we thought he was in the garage. I made the comment to Dawn that I'll take out Rick. Then Dawn looked at Devin and said, "Devin, who, if anybody, would I want to fall off the face of the earth?" Devin said, "Ben." I said, "I'll take care of Ben." And she said, "I don't want you to take care of Ben. I want you to kill Ben." I said, "You want me to kill Ben?" She said, "Yes." I said, "Okay." And then we got into conversation/argument about how much my family owed her, because while I was in prison, my mom lived with her, and I was calling Dawn's house while I was in prison, running the phone bill up, how everything's about Dawn. Everybody owes Dawn something. After that, we spent time in the bedroom, in the kitchen, talking about it more, drinking more. And later in the night, it got more serious. I asked Dawn to draw me out a diagram of Ben's house. She drew me out a diagram of Ben's house on a white piece of prayer paper. And then I started asking her questions like, is there guns in the house? Is there dogs in the house? Is there an alarm system? Exact routes to the house? I mean, people would be there. And then from there, it just escalated to very serious, if this was going to happen thing. I told Dawn that I would need some things. She gave me her bank card. Went to 7-Eleven and pulled out $40. After I went to 7-Eleven, took my truck back to my mom's house because we figured the police would show up in the morning and we didn't want a warm vehicle at the house if the police showed up. We took my truck back to back to my mom's house. While we were at my mom's house, I needed an excuse instead of just walking back for being in the house. So I asked my mom to give me a ride back to Dawn's house. I told her my truck was malfunctioning while my mom was getting ready. In my brother's bedroom, I had a blue trunk with a double-barrel 12-gauge shotgun in it that I hid next to the fence behind a 4x4. My mom then gave me a ride back to Dawn's house. We discussed it some more. We took Dawn's truck to my mom's house. We took my truck to Walmart. At Walmart, I bought the shotgun shells. I bought shoes. I bought rubber gloves. I bought paper towels, a lot of duct tape. Got back to the car. Don and I took some more shots, loaded the gun, wiped the gun down, wiped the box down, wiped all the shells down that we touched, wiped everything down, put the shoes on. We drove to Ben's house because we had left the diagram on the computer table at the house. So I didn't know how to get into Ben's house or to lay out of the house. It was on the computer table. We went to Ben's house, drove past his house and went to the school. We turned around in the school parking lot, came back, so we were facing 395 and parked on the side of his house, probably about 25 feet past his house. We went to the front door of the house. The front door was locked. We then went to the right-hand side of the house, around the house, and through a sliding glass door. It's hard for me to talk about. On the way to Walmart, Don had asked if I'd kill Melissa too, and I agreed to it. I said I would do it. So we go in the house. The first thing I do is I go to the front door, and I unlock the front door and open it probably about 1.5 to 2 feet, so I have a way out. And then we go down the hallway, and as I'm walking down the hallway, Don stops in front of an open doorway, almost to the master bedroom, and I turn around and see that Don's not following me. I go back and I grab her by her arm and pull her into the living room, and I'm whispering to her, "What is she doing?" He says that she's going to take Alyssa. He says, "You can't take Alyssa because it's their weekend, they'll know that we did this." And then order her back out to the truck. She goes to the truck. She's supposed to be in the driver's seat waiting for me. She goes to the truck, and I go into Ben's bedroom. And I'm standing there, and my eyes are adjusting. I'm standing there in a prone position. I'm standing there, aiming this gun at his head. And things are going through my mind, like, what am I doing? I'm sobering up really fast. Like, hours ago I was drinking, and here I am with the gun in the back of somebody's head. I don't know how long I was in this. I don't know how long I was standing there. Something. I don't know if it was an alarm clock, or I don't know if it was somebody moving in the house, or what it was. Something happened. I jolted and I pulled the trigger. It shot Ben. I killed Ben. I killed him. And ran out the front door. And I was running out the front door. And as I got around to the front of the fence of their house, Dawn was running back to the truck. She got in the driver's side of the truck, and drove away. Or with me, obviously. We got to the stoplight and we waited for the light to turn green. The light turned green. We turned left down towards Gardnerville, and we were probably at however long it took to get to 65 miles an hour. And we saw 2 Douglas County sheriffs, cruisers speeding by. We took a ride on that road. I can't exactly say how I remember marking this, but I think it was just reflectors on the poles, or it was either fence posts, but either 4 reflectors down or 4 fence poles down is where we pulled over. And I changed, took the shoes off that I bought at Walmart, put my shoes back on, the gun on the side of the road, put the shells, everything that we had bought in, put it up next to the fence, there was some brush there, put brush over it. We got back in the truck, dropped off my truck, picked up Don's truck, went back to the house, went to the bedroom, and waited for you guys to get there. We put in, we talked about what we were going to say. We started drinking again. We put a movie in the DVD player to say that we would fall asleep watching that. And I guess from there on out, and you know the story, pretty much. This has been eating at me for 3 years.
You okay?
No. I'm not okay. I haven't been okay for a long time. I don't even know if I was going to shoot. It just all happened so fast.
What was happening a month before, 2 months before
didn't happen this one day that she's decided that this is the end. I mean, it seems like from what I remember, it was like it was building.
She was always ranting and raving about Ben and about Alyssa, how she never got her time in court and how she hated him. Every night it was the same thing.
Is there anybody else involved besides you two?
No.
The diagram and stuff that you guys had made. How many times were you at Ben's house prior to this one?
I'd never been to Ben's house. I'd driven by it one time, going take Alyssa to school, pick up Alyssa from school, 1 or 2 with Dawn.
The diagram, do you know where the diagram is?
Oh yeah, it's in the fireplace. It was left on the computer desk, and I completely forgot about it, and he had missed it when he did the search.
You spoke about going into the house together. Was that kind of the idea?
Well, because I had left the diagram at the house, and I had planned on looking at the diagram when getting to Ben. I didn't have the diagram and realized that at Walmart, and then she went in the house with me to show me where Ben's bedroom was, and on that route she had stopped at Alyssa's door.
Did she look in the room?
Well, yeah, she was standing if this is the exact doorway, she was standing probably in the room looking like this at Alyssa.
I understand you said it plain as day. You shot Ben. Why not Melissa?
I didn't even know if I had planned on killing Ben. I mean, I'd agreed to kill Melissa. I'd agreed to kill Ben. But when the shot went off, it instantly triggered in my mind what I had just done. And I couldn't do it again.
Did she get up? Did she say anything? Did you see her?
No. I don't even think she knew. I don't know. I was out of the room pretty fast.
You have to excuse me, I don't remember where this came from. Someone said you'd whispered into Ben's ear, "This is for Dawn," or something like that.
And that never happened.
Is that something you told somebody, though?
No.
So, the shotgun, so as to this day, is everything still there?
No. The shotgun was grinded up and thrown in the police department. Dumpster.
Interesting face.
I used a grinder and threw it in the police department dumpster.
In which police department dumpster?
One back here.
Okay. How is Dawn in this whole thing? What is she saying? I mean, what is she doing?
She's enthusiastic about it, about how it's finally happening. How things gonna be better in her life. She seemed perfectly okay with what was going on.
Why talk about Dawn in this? Why bring Dawn into this when you're doing an upstanding thing by standing here and saying, "This is what I did," but you're also bringing her in. Why?
Because it's the truth. Because I want the truth out. I want this over with. Because I honestly don't believe that Ben deserved to die.
Do you want to see Dawn prosecuted?
I want to see justice served on everybody that was involved in this.
Okay, we keep saying everybody. So was there more everybody's? Was there anything exchanged for Ben's killing Ben? Did she give you money, property, narcotics?
No, purely just a bad night.
Would you say you were in love with her, or she's in love with you?
Not at that point, no.
James is facing first-degree murder, life without the possibility of parole if a jury convicts him. There is a community need to make sure that people understand what the sentence and the conviction are for that type of attitude, that type of behavior, that type of action. But the one thing that's missing in justice is that the person ultimately responsible for his finger on the trigger is Don Oxley. And the woman has attempted to utilize an immunity agreement and to hide behind that immunity agreement to provide falseness, to not even allow justice. I gave her a chance on the stand to tell the truth, and she could have done it, and she would still have her immunity agreement. But she took the stand, and she decided to confess to being only an accessory after the fact, and completely renounced any participation in the solicitation or the aiding and abetting or being the principal of murder. My concerns as a legal advisor to Mr. Matling has brought him here because he knows that there is no offer that can be given to him because of an agreement with Miss Oxley. That doesn't stop us from telling the truth, and that doesn't stop us from suggesting to Mr. Gregory and Mr. Jackson, my client will plead guilty to first-degree murder, and in exchange, my client will also testify truthfully against any prosecution the Douglas County District Attorney's Office brings against Don Oxley, and we highly encourage one. 3, our offer of pleading guilty to first-degree murder would be pursuant to Cripps versus State. The defense would be free to argue for 20 to 50 years. That's all we're looking for. We've had a fajitas lunch. Maybe he can have a Big Mac sentencing. Maybe he can have a Big Mac at his testimony against Don Oxley. And I trust the district attorney's office will take this into consideration in our offer and hopefully accept it. If they reject it, I still vehemently demand that this videotape does not go into evidence that it's the property and custody of James Matley.
Unsure of whether James's statement would be admissible, detectives continue to work the case. In March 2011, police arrested Dawn Oxley for involving her 15-year-old daughter, Brandy, in multiple drug transactions. The judge sentenced Dawn to 7 years in prison. However, in 2014, she was released after only serving 3 years. While her mother was under arrest, Brandy sat down with investigators to discuss comments James made on the day of Ben's death.
Yeah. Inconspicuous. A couple things.
I don't really know anything about the murder.
Okay, and that's fine. And like when I said, I mean, obviously you're 15, right? So if you want your grandma in here, you can have her if you want to. If you just want to talk real quick, it'd be pretty simple. Okay.
That's fine.
And I know before you said you didn't know anything, but I might ask something that might jar your memory. Okay. So, and you know your mom's being cooperative with everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So nothing to hide. I guess the night of, obviously it happened in 2008, so it was a while ago. Do you remember the night of February 20th at all, or?
All I remember was that morning.
Okay. Well, tell me about what you remember about that morning.
I had woken up and I was getting ready and I heard banging on the door. So my mom walked out and opened the door and I don't know if you were there that morning or not, but the detectives asked me to go back in my room. So I was standing in the crease of my door, like, you know how my door goes back.
Yeah.
I was standing right there and James was freaking out in the bedroom like, oh my God, what's going on? I think Ben was killed before the investigators ever said anything about it.
Okay.
And he had said that, and I kept listening, and I heard my mom start to cry, and that's when the investigators walked back into the room and looked and saw James and everything.
They just said go back to your room, basically?
He asked me to go back to my room,
okay.
And I just...
So you went back and you said you were standing at that crease,
yeah,
your door, right? And then you could see James standing there?
He was like he was by my mom's shelf in the room and it was dark in there. And he was like pacing back and forth.
So the door was open, obviously,
yeah.
so you can see him. So you saw him pacing back and forth.
And he said, oh my God, what happened? Why are they here? I think Ben was murdered.
And did he look at you and say that?
Yeah.
Okay, so you guys are making eye contact. Okay. And you said he said that before the investigators ever said anything about...
Because I remember that briefly. I was like, what are you talking about? And then 5 to 10 minutes later, I heard you guys tell my mom, or whoever was there, Ben has been killed, or Ben was murdered, or whatever you guys said.
Okay. At that time, did you think of, like, how did James know that before they said anything?
It didn't hit me until after, like, the fact, after I started thinking about it, really, like, what had happened.
Okay.
Because I remember him saying it beforehand, because I was sitting there trying to listen to hear what was going on, and he said it, and I was like, what are you talking about?
Okay. So he said that, and then do you remember what he did after he said that and why he looked at you?
He just kept pacing back and forth because he knew I was there.
Okay.
Before he said it.
And did they talk to you at all? Do you remember if they talked to you at all there at the house?
I think they talked to me mainly in the car.
Okay. And did you tell them at that time about James making that comment?
Mm-mm.
Okay.
I hadn't even thought about it at first because I was in shock.
Okay.
But when I really started, like, a while ago, once the trial came up and everything, it hit me, like, what had happened that morning.
Mm-hmm.
It hit me that he said that.
Okay.
And I, like, started thinking about it. I was like, well, why was he acting so weird? And then I realized what he had said, and it was before the cops had said anything.
Okay.
In December 2011, James entered into a plea agreement, pleading guilty to first-degree murder and conspiracy to commit murder. The state agreed to recommend a sentence of life with the possibility of parole after 20 years on the murder charge, with a consecutive term of 10 years with the possibility of parole on the conspiracy charge. The agreement required James to provide a truthful statement. Even though the state recommended life with parole after 20 years, that was merely a recommendation. On March 16, 2012, the judge sentenced James Matleen to life without the possibility of parole. After his sentencing, James's mother, Mary Matleen, voluntarily spoke with detectives.
I think one of the big things, some of the things I have to establish before we get into actually what, some differences is, I guess, like I asked you before, is why? Why is the information now you're coming forward?
Honestly, I didn't believe James or Don had anything to do with this, or could. I didn't think my son could do this. So I didn't find it to be very important information. It's how my son confessed to murdering someone.
And why don't we segue into what was your relationship with Dawn?
She was my best friend. Until she just changed so dramatically.
When did she change?
After the murder. She began drinking so much, and I don't know how many times I had to go over there. Mom, come over here, she's going to commit suicide. No, she's not. She wants attention. But I would go spend the night over there and not let her hurt herself, which she wasn't going to do. I knew that, but I work with people like this all the time. But I still had to protect her. I'm an EMT. I'm in the medical field. I can't ignore when somebody tells me that. I'm not losing my license. And she was my friend. And I figured she was just going through a rough time or her husband was killed. I'm going to be there as her friend. It got to a point, though, it was just too much. I could see what she was doing to him, how much he was drinking, how much he was changing. And I finally started convincing him to leave her. I started backing off as a friend. I don't know how many times. I saved her vehicle from DUIs and her kids and took care of everything. And I realized I was enabling her. The more I save her, the more she's going to keep doing it. So as I stopped being her friend and convincing my son that he needed something, and although from the beginning I told him not to date her, but he's an adult, and so I had to back off. But I finally convinced him to leave. And she became more angry and told me that we would be sorry if he didn't come back from Seattle. And she called up there and harassing him and told him, I said, don't answer the phone, I won't talk to her. Which is why I changed his number so many times. She was my best friend.
How long were you guys best friends?
4 or 5 years.
Prior to the murder?
Yeah. She was responsible then. She worked, she took care of her kids, she was on top of things. And then it's like the day after this happened, she just started changing. I didn't notice it at first. She always drank quite a bit, as far as like when she got off work and stuff, and the more that I backed off, the more angry she became. She'd be in front of my house when I get home from work. Drunk, which means she drove there drunk. Not okay,
Right.
So I had to just stop, because every time she'd come over, it'd be all night crying thing. And I need to just go in there and tell him I did it. If you did, yeah. If not, then shut up. Because I'm tired of hearing it. I got tired of it.
So when she said stuff like that, was she making it up, implying that she had something to do with it?
Yeah. And I encouraged her to come in here and tell you guys if she did. I said, if you did, absolutely. If not, what is the problem? Are you feeling sorry for yourself? You have your daughter. I'm taking care of all your crap. What is the issue? But she never would tell me. I don't know how many times she said that. I'm going to guess 4, 5, 6 times that I know of for sure. I don't like to say wrong numbers.
Sure. It's kind of like what she told me the first time. I should just confess to this. I should just say I did it or whatever.
Yeah, why is that? Because if I did something like that, I wouldn't have a problem saying so. But that's the difference between us. I don't do anything like that. So I'm too kind-hearted, which I thought she was, and my son as well. And I truly still believe that he was, and I know he was under her influence because I saw the changes in him. That wasn't my son that I raised in the end.
I didn't get a chance, or no one gave me a copy of the letter that you sent to the district attorney's officer, Mr. Stover. So why don't you tell me what it is you...
Well, after I took James back to Don's house, 1:30 to something like that.
On the 21st?
After he woke me up.
Okay.
Because his truck was broke down. That's what I was told. A couple hours later, I'm not going to tell you the time because I don't remember. My dog barked, and I looked out the window, and I saw the two of them changing vehicles. From her vehicle back to his truck, which was supposed to be broke down, which is why I took him back to Don's. I don't understand the whole... I never asked him because it wasn't a big deal, and now I don't even want to know.
Did they leave her vehicle there?
Yeah.
And they both took off in the truck?
Yeah.
Did you see them both get in a vehicle and leave?
Yeah.
He took his truck to your house and said, hey, Mom, my truck's broken down. I'm going to leave it here to work on it, I think is what he was saying. You gave him a ride back to Don's house. It was around 1 o'clock in the morning.
Something like that.
And then, whatever time period, you don't have an idea what time it is, you see them both returning in her vehicle, leave her
And taking
vehicle.
his vehicle.
Okay.
So what?
Odd.
Yeah. Why even wake me up to take me back there and bring it back over here, bring it here to begin with?
Right. When you finally got up that morning, what car was at your
You
house?
know what? I've thought about that so much and I don't remember.
You remember it was his truck, her vehicle, either one, none of
I
them?
don't remember. I've thought about it to tell you guys and I don't. Dawn came to me at one point and asked me to lie to you guys, which I didn't do. It's not me. She said she wanted me to tell you guys that I came over there that morning, got a bunch of weapons, and took them to my house. First of all, why would I do that? James is on probation. That's the reason they want in the house to begin with. And secondly, I was at work. I'm not going to lie. So I told her no. After my son confessed to this, I thought, well, maybe there's something to that. Why? I don't know if she would ask me that, but I'm just afraid I just put it out there and you guys do with it whatever. I just hope that if she's responsible, that she's to be held responsible.
Well, let me ask you this. I mean, Dawn was one of your best friends. You know her probably better than any of us ever will. She obviously had a change after the murder, for whatever reason. And you know your son very well. Do you think he would lie about this to make her in trouble?
No.
Do you think he's telling the truth?
I do. And I've thought about that a lot. She asked me one day, she goes, do you think I've changed? I said, you don't want to know what because you know I'm going to tell you the truth. She goes, I really do. Of course, she was drunk at the time. I said, yeah, you've changed. You've become an alcoholic, you're irresponsible, you're a bitch, and you're controlling. She's like, well, that was harsh. I said, well, I told you not to ask me. If you don't want to know, you know, you used to work. You used to be in control of your life, and you're not. I saw the way that she treated James, controlling. I mean, I walked over there one time, and he had said something, and she just did the hand thing. You just need to shut up. And I was like, okay, first of all, the mother instinct. I said, don't talk to him like that. What is your issue, you know? And I don't remember what the excuse was, but he had gotten that job. I don't remember what the company was called. Not too far from our house at the hill he was working. And he worked hard to get that job. He went over there every day. And he'd come home exhausted after working heavy equipment, and he'd want to go to bed like normal time, 8, 9 o'clock. And of course, she's a night owl, and she'd get pissed if he wanted to go to bed early, and she was drunk. I'm like, he needs to sleep. You're bitching because he's not working. You're constantly complaining at him because he's not working. He gets a job, and you won't let him sleep and keep it. Oh, you need to leave him alone. He's fine. Okay, so he can be up all night babying you and taking care of you and go to work and get hurt or lose his job, and he did lose his job. But she constantly made him feel like shit for not working. And he really wanted to please her. I don't know how to say this. She had something over him, and I knew something was going on. The way that he was always doing everything that she said. And I'm like, what the hell? I've seen him actually, she would come towards him, and he would actually back up into the corner and go to defend himself like she hits him. I don't know that that's true. I've never seen it. But just the posture in which he would get, and I was like, Betty always told me to mind my own business. You're not supposed to be in our relationship, you're just his mom. She just became angry, depressed, suicidal. How many times did she get locked up? Three times? I mean, there's a change there. Do I think that she could have had anything to do with this? Yes, because I was there the night that Ben beat the hell out of her. Had her on the ground, had her head in the porch, beating the crap out of her. I was there when Alyssa was under her and he was beating the crap out of her back. She was pissed. James didn't know Ben. He had no reason to do this.
Were you friends with her when she was married to Ben and things were good?
Things were not good with Ben. When I knew her, there was no good things with Ben.
Did she ever talk about wanting him dead prior to, James?
Oh, yes. Oh, she offered my husband money to kill him. And I've heard it many times with other people. That was a normal thing with her. How to put an end to this. For the most part, I'm the one that dropped Alyssa off and picked Alyssa up so that she didn't have to see him. And then when the night he did come in the house is when the altercation happened over a flip-flop. And he threw her head down into the pavement and beat the crap out of her. And at that point, you could see how serious she became about him wanting it to stop. She had something over James's head. Because she told me that he's going to be sorry if he doesn't come back from Seattle. Then what happens? She accuses him of this.
Brandy looked pretty good.
Yeah, Brandy looks better and more respectful than I've seen her in a long time.
Yeah.
So, and I guess Melissa's adopting her. So that's good. And Melissa's open to them calling me, which is good.
Yeah.
We all need healing. And I can't even imagine my son killed somebody. How do you handle that happening? It's none of the waste. It's my baby. I can't believe he killed somebody. I'm all about saving lives. And she used it to get what she wanted. Because she's been talking about this for a long time. Even after hearing all that over the years and everything, I still didn't think she could do it. I thought my son could actually carry it out. It's not. No. But the more you think back, she's been saying it for a long time.
That she wants Ben dead is what you're saying.
I mean, she always said it when she was angry at him, which was a lot. But I always took it as kidding. Since he actually killed Ben, he needs to go. Just like anybody else would. If it was me, and my husband was killed, I'd be doing the same thing Melissa's doing.
James and Dawn's statements were consistent in all but one respect, whether Dawn went with James to Ben's house or stayed home. Without sufficient evidence to prove who was telling the truth, no charges related to this case were filed against Dawn Oxley. In 2022, Dawn Oxley died at the age of 50. With the investigation finalized, Melissa was granted full custody of Alyssa and formally adopted her. Rather than thinking about the murder, Melissa focuses on Ben and the memories. She said there's still a sense of him with her. Craig believes that Dawn got away with murder. He said the only way he's been able to get this far is with the bracelets that say, "What would Jesus do?" Craig said that he thinks, "What would Ben do?" Alyssa said that Melissa has given her nothing but a good life and considers Melissa to be her mother and best friend. For more videos of cases never before seen on YouTube, click one of the videos on screen now or the links in the pinned comment. Goodbye for now.